Okay. Let us get started. Please welcome back to the Moxcee Talk stage Mr. Donald Keys.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to my talk. Today I am going to walk you through a success story of how I used connect, engage, empower to establish some very important relationships that resulted in a six-figure payoff. Well, thank you for your enthusiasm. Much appreciated. Now, the business objective for my client was to sell his humble Nissan franchise on Vancouver Island. After 15 years, my client had been doing well, but it was time for someone to take it to the next level. With our objective clear, we laid out the strategy to connect, engage and empower a community of automotive dealership owners in Western Canada. Let's start with the connect strategy. Although your primary objective is to get in front of a decision maker, you may find yourself 2 or 5 degrees separated from your target. Think of the concentric circles on this diagram illustrating degrees of separation from your target. It also means you may only have 1 or 2 shots. Don't waste them. In identifying our targets geographically, we had to choose what part of Canada where we can be most effective. So, we decided to focus on Western Canadian automotive dealerships first. But there was a problem. The list vendor didn't have the names of the dealer principals. They basically compiled addresses from the phone book. To close the distance between my client and these potential buyers, I called on a friend who owns his own dealership and had a list of every Western dealer and the owner's name. Now we are in a more enviable position to connect with our potential buyers. Although we are still 2 to 3 degrees separated, it now depends on how we engage potential buyers. We can attempt to connect with these potential buyers and overcome the usual roadblocks. We do this with a proper engagement strategy. We decided that a mailing piece would be most effective. But how do we get our friendly receptionist here to put our mailing piece into the hands of the decision maker without her tossing it as junk mail? So, we had to get our head around a specially designed piece to engage both the receptionist and the decision maker. We toyed with this design here. A mailing piece to look like a wedding invitation. You see, wedding invitations have the highest rates for both mail openings and response. This is the final version. We wanted to show that Nissan was evolving beyond cars but into recreational and commercial trucks. Next, we went with hand-addressed envelope to give it that personal touch and a real postage stamp. And inside the envelope we again kept it personal. No business reply card. We engaged the potential buyers to drop their business card into a pre-addressed envelope, and in return receive a free video about the Nissan dealership on compact disc. This was before YouTube. So getting a free CD in the mail was a big deal. Well, the response was overwhelming. 60% of the list responded by sending back their business card. Sometimes in direct mail 2% is considered a success. Thank you for that. But here is where things took an unexpected turn. We produced a mailing piece that piqued the interest of potential buyers. We sent them a video in the mail that we thought would empower them into making a decision. But once we started doing follow-up phone calls in the weeks that followed, our idea of empowering the prospect went in a different direction. My client took it upon himself to call all 160 Western Canadian dealers that requested the CD in the mail. And here is the bittersweet message he got back from the potential buyers. The dealership lot was far too small to expand with upcoming product lines. The showroom was not meeting Nissan's North American brand standards and expansion. And finally, the asking price became irrelevant if not realistic because of the 2 preceding points. Major additional investment would be required. Although this feedback was a bitter pill to swallow, my client's small investment in this campaign got him the best advice from some of the most successful dealers in the country. So, here's the twist. The dealers ended up empowering my client to step up his game and create a better investment opportunity for these dealers. Or for himself. In stepping up, my client went from this small-town franchise to this. A beautiful world-class state-of-the-art franchise that quadrupled in volume and in value. It was the multi-million-dollar payoff after 15 years grinding it out. I hope you enjoyed this talk in employing what I call the power of 3. Connect. Engage. and empowered to build valuable business relationships. As always though, focus on step 1, connect. Start here in this room to connect with people who know influential people. Thank you all.